I'd like to call to order the Miamisburg City School Board meeting for February 15, 2024. The district mission is to foster a positive, nurturing, and safe environment to inspire and support ongoing learning and the development of individuals as productive members of society. We must be able to conduct our meetings in an orderly fashion. Our expectation at all board meetings is that everyone conducts themselves civilly and respectfully. In the event anyone is disruptive and interferes with the meeting, they will be asked to leave. If they do not, we will request that law enforcement assist in the process. Can everyone hear okay? Okay, great. All right, let's stand for the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I just wanted to reintroduce our student board reps, since this is only the second month. Andrew Prince, Sophia Stockler.
Sophia.
I thought I said that.
Okay, it was like Sophia.
No. They say Sophia. I don't know.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't know it was Sophia. Okay, Madison McGowan and Basosa Egabar. And roll call, please.
Mr. Amsler? Here. Mr. Daffler? Here. Mrs. Getter?
Here.
Mr. Mowry? Here. Mrs. Neese?
Yes.
Dr. Blessing?
I'm here. Sorry.
Dr. Homan?
Here.
Mr. Homan?
Just got promoted.
All right, next we have the approval of the adoption of the agenda for February 15, 2024. And then we have the approval of minutes for the regular board meeting held on January 18, 2024. And then we have the approval of a financial report, January 31st, 2024. Do you want to go ahead and talk about that, Mr. Blevins?
Yeah, just that the expenditures are currently trending slightly better than what was forecasted. And so that could have a positive impact on the cash balance by the end of the fiscal year.
Any questions?
I have a question.
Gotta remember to push the button each time.
Justin, when that happens, does the treasurer's office do a revised forecast? I was looking over that and I wasn't sure about that, so.
So, so what I do is I track that, and then as I get closer to the May update, I will address that in the May updated forecast. And hopefully dial the numbers in, which the difference is only right around 2% right now, so it's still pretty close. It's just I thought it was worth mentioning that they're trending in a good way against what was forecasted, right? It's probably because we hadn't had the insurance rates yet, and so I probably estimated slightly higher, and they've come in a little bit better, which is good.
Great. All right. Next we have a recognition of our citizens, staff, and student. And we're going to recognize the Student of the Month, Keegan Wiggle from Kinder Elementary School.
We're going to talk about it. We're going to watch. Look out. Everybody else. Look at them. What do you want to do? Okay.
The Miamisburg Schools January District Student of the Month is Kinder Elementary School student Keegan Wiggle. Keegan was nominated by his teacher, Erica Marshall. Ms. Marshall said, "It brings me great joy to nominate Keegan Wiggle as Kinder Elementary's January Student of the Month. Keegan is a compassionate, gentle, and respectful student. He is a leader in our classroom and sets a wonderful example for our students. This month's social and emotional learning unit is perseverance. There's no doubt that Keegan perseveres. He's eager to learn and willing to do whatever it takes to meet his academic goals. Over the past year, Keegan has faced many life challenges that have left him feeling with a range of emotions. Yet he perseveres. His mom expressed the immense pride she feels in the many areas she's seen Keegan grow and open up this year. She describes him as a loving, funny, and smart boy. At home, he enjoys playing his VR and video game consoles. He excitedly takes on the challenges of complex games, but he never is too busy to lend his family a helping hand. He enjoys helping his mom cook and clean. Congratulations on that. He also helps his dad walk the dogs. Keegan Wiggles' continuous perseverance and positive attitude make him an excellent nominee for Kinder Elementary's January Student of the Month. His family and I are both so proud of the person he is becoming. So congratulations to you, Mr. Keegan.
Over here. So we have a Student of the Month medallion for you. And we've got a t-shirt. What do you think? Is that too big or is that about right? What do you think? Will that work? Okay. So what's your favorite video game? You don't know? I bet you do. Which one? What's your favorite dog's name? Luna. I have a cat. Well, congratulations. You want to shake everybody's hand? You want to go around and shake everyone's hand? High five. Okay. All right. Can we get a picture? Turn around here and we'll get a picture with Mrs. Huber. She might steal your tennis shoes. I know she likes those kind of tennis shoes. Smile. Would you like it?
Turn this way too.
And then can we look over here? Oh, one more. Look at it. And then we'll get a family shot. Okay. All right, let's give Mom and Dad. Can we take them? Come here. Hold this.
I guess that's when you get a doctor.
Come on over here. We'll get a picture. Yeah, good job.
Add it to the list.
Hold your medallion up.
Just take it with this.
Thank you for sharing that with us. We got, I know. You're being such a good sport.
All right, congratulations again, Keegan. Next we have recognition of appreciation for a retiree. It is recommended that the Board of Education adopt a resolution of appreciation for the following employee. Carol Alt, 25 years. You want to come on up, Carol, while we read the resolution? Whereas Carol Alt has rendered 25 years service to Miamisburg City Schools, and whereas Carol Alt's performance, conduct, and sincerity in carrying out her duty has exemplified the highest level of achievement, and whereas Carol Alt has distinguished herself as a lunchroom, playground monitor, kindergarten aide, SMART coordinator, MHA, special education aide, and custodian in the Miamisburg City School District. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Miamisburg City School Board of Education pass this resolution as a token of its appreciation for her outstanding conduct, and that such resolution become part of the permanent minutes of said Board of Education.
bell for 25 years. So I've heard folks that have received these ring it every hour their last, or their last week they ring it. I mean, there's all kinds of creative ways to do that. Let me get your resolution too here. So,
This one's Steve.
yes, yes, please. Yeah, we'll get Steve in there too.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Go. All
Yeah.
of you.
Oh, boy.
Sorry, family. Get Steve.
Let me do this. Wait, let me do this. We'll get the whole mic. I'm gonna turn this back over to you. My amateur photography skills are limited.
Are we all ready?
Ring that
bell.
I went to ring class one day. Did we read the teacher from the Black Lagoon? That was a fun.
Congratulations.
I've got a big voice. So I just wanted to say thank you to the school district. We worked hard together. Also, part of that was my 8 years of a PTO and volunteer at Mound. 3 of those were president at Mound, so I followed my boys through there. And then I had 12 years as a steward, the last 4 years as chief steward. And working with this district, we've come a long way, and I appreciate Steve and Laura's efforts in that. Thank you very much for that. Wanted to recognize that, so thank you.
So I just wanted to thank Carol. Carol has done remarkable things over the years. The last set of negotiations was really good. Your leadership has been invaluable. So I just want to thank you very, very much. And besides, I remember, don't forget swim and dive involved in that.
Yep.
You were very instrumental in really getting that program recognized in the district, and I just want to thank you. You've been a very, very good friend and a great employee, and I thank you for that.
Thank you. I forgot. Thank you to all the stewards that's been by my side. Without them, we couldn't have done what we did, so I appreciate that.
I know when I was reading the resolution, that word sincere really stuck out because her sincerity is really amazing, and she's also very funny. And it's made me laugh on lots of occasions when I needed to laugh, so I thank you for that.
Thank you.
All right. Let's go on to board discussion. First, we'll have a discussion from Dr. Blessing about the elementary programming. Thank you. I sent out the February update to our families and our staff today regarding how we're moving along with the transition. We've been focusing on staff placements and new positions within the buildings. I think we have about 50 teachers that are going to be moving to a new building. So we've started notifying them. They've had their first staff meeting at their new buildings. And so the next thing we're planning is field trips for our elementary students that are transitioning to move to a new building. I think on March 25th, we're having an elementary field trip day. So all of our students who are transitioning to a new building will be going to their school for a visit. And then we have a follow-up evening night for our families to go and for our students to take them around to their new building. So that's in the works. Mr. Holman and Justin and Mrs. Dobson and myself met with our moving company yesterday. So we have an elementary enrollment programming committee meeting on the 28th. So we're going to be talking with our teachers, our PTO leaders, our staff, our principals about, when they want boxes to arrive and moving labels and some moving tutorials and getting all that going. So we feel like we're moving along on schedule and everyone is going to have plenty of time for the transition. So we just want to give everyone an update. Michelle Reed, our transportation director, is working on the new bus routes because we have preschool and kindergarten registration coming up, and we like to have those ready in March. So she's going to be working really hard in the next couple weeks. So we appreciate that. Oh, definitely. Preschool and kindergarten registration were also mentioned. And so we are starting those. And the preschool registration is for Maddox and for Metherview. And that's our Head Start partnership. And we are also looking at expanding that because we have the ECE grant. So we're looking at possibly even having preschool at Bayer Elementary School next year. And then remember, full day kindergarten is going to be free for everyone next year. So we've done a pilot for the last few years to make sure we can sustain it. And so we're very excited about that because that is a wonderful opportunity for our youngest learners. So, thanks. Any questions? All right, then we'll move on to having Mr. Blevins talk to us about the Red Tree investment update.
So we met with Joe Violand a little bit ago during the finance meeting portion, and just to kind of summarize what Joe was presenting to us, and hopefully Ann and Corey can kind of echo this. They've been great to work with so far. They've been really good at educating me about the school's funds and the history of the funds, and kind of working with them on cash flow to determine if we have needs coming up, how we would go about addressing that. There's about $16.5 million currently held in investments, and the average yield for this year so far is right around 2.96%. And so we're just happy that everything is going smoothly, and that's why we use them, is because they're good at handling the investments and then keeping me updated so that I keep all you updated if there's any big changes.
Any questions? Next, we'll move to approval of meeting opening items C through H. Do I have a motion?
I move that the Board of Education approve meeting opening items C through H.
Second.
First by Mrs. Getter and a second by Mr. Amsler. Roll call.
Mr. Dappler?
Yes.
Mrs. Getter?
Yes.
Mr. Mowry?
Yes.
Mrs. Neese?
Yes.
Mr. Ansler?
Yes.
Okay, next we move on to the consent agenda. And we have, it's recommended that the Board of Education approve overnight extended student trips. Scott Sally and Andy Parker for the MHS boys bowling team postseason tournament, Columbus, Ohio. Scott Sally and Andy Parker for the MHS girls bowling team postseason tournament, Columbus, Ohio. Nathan Carmack, Greg Pitroff, Jeff Turner, Adam Price, Sean Schooley, Cameron Carnevale for the MHS wrestling team postseason tournament, Columbus, Ohio. Dustin Krull, girls varsity wrestling postseason tournament, Columbus, Ohio. John Good and Mike Witzerman, girls gymnastics team postseason tournament, Hilliard, Ohio. And Megan Newton, MHS Italy and France trip, Rome, Florence, and Milan, Italy and Paris, France. Then we'll move on to B. It is recommended that the Board of Education approve out-of-state travel overnight student trips. And these are for the very same tournaments and trips and the very same employees. So, any questions? Okay. Next we have, it is recommended by the superintendent and high school principal, Michael Black, that the Board of Education approve approves Alexis Holland, Haley Reynolds, and Carly Thatcher for tuition-free enrollment for their senior year per board policy JECB. In compliance with state law and board policy, non-resident students are exempt from paying tuition when the student is under the age of 22 and her parents move from the district following the commencement of classes during the student's senior year for the remainder of the school year and for one additional semester. Tuition-free senior enrollment does not extend to out-of-state. Next, we have recommended action of Michael Black, principal of Miamisburg High School, has recommended Kendra Begley, Genevieve Hugh, and Ashlyn Simmons for early graduation pending satisfactory completion of all state and local requirements. And then next we have an appointment of the board designee to attend public records training. The board shall appoint Justin Blevins, Treasurer, CFO, and Katie Lucas, Director of Student Services, as an alternate to attend public records training required for board members by applicable law, namely Revised Code 10943. Then it is recommended that the Board of Education approve consent agendas items A through E. Do I have a motion?
I move for the approval of consent items A alpha through E echo. Second.
So first by Mr. Amsler and a second by Mr. Daffler. Any questions about any of those items?
Could board members chaperone the trip to Italy? That sounds like a really fun trip for whoever's going on. That sounds awesome.
All right, roll call.
Mrs. Getter,
Yes.
Mr. Mowry,
Yes.
Mrs. Neese,
Yes.
Mr. Amsler,
Yes.
Mr. Daffler.
Yes.
Are any of you going on that trip?
No.
Or student reps? No.
Oh,
I'm going on the Spanish trip with Mr. Bennett, so.
This year.
Yep,
Nice.
yep, I'm excited, and he's excited, so.
We need a full report when you get back.
yes.
Oh, I understand, yeah.
Yeah, I want a video.
Okay, I got you.
Great. All right. We'll go to the Human Resources agenda items. It is recommended that the Board of Education approve the following personnel reports. Employment in the Miamisburg City School District is contingent upon the candidate submitting to and passing a BCII and FBI criminal record check in accordance with the Ohio Revised Code and pre-employment drug screening in accordance with adopted board policies. The next, it is recommended, that's B, it is recommended that the Board of Education approve the following personnel report, supplemental, stipend, certificated, classified. And once again, the same employment clause. Then next we have the approval of the contract for a school psychologist. It is recommended by the superintendent that Jacob Hanna is awarded a 2-year, 220-day administrative contract with Miamisburg City Schools effective August 1st, 2024 through July 31st, 2026. Jacob Hanna will assume the role of school psychologist on the administrative salary schedule. So, file GEB R1. Any questions?
How many school psychologists are we required to employ?
It is based on the number of special ed students that we have on our caseloads. So there's, Mrs. Lucas would know the exact number, but we employ 5.
We employ 5.
Yes.
We need all 5?
Correct.
Currently, based on our current student load?
Correct.
Okay.
And we have to service the non-public. So we have to evaluate any student that Bishop Leibold would like evaluated, as well as Dayton Christian.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. It is recommended that the Board of Education approve Human Resources item A through C. Do I have a motion?
I
I move for the approval of human resources items A through C.
Second. Okay, so a first by Mr. Dappler and a second by Mrs. Getter. And then roll call.
Mr. Mowry?
Yes.
Mrs. Neese?
Yes.
Mr. Amsler?
Yes.
Mr. Dappler?
Yes.
Mrs. Getter?
Yes.
Okay, next we move to agreements and contracts. Recommended action. The superintendent recommends that the Board of Education approve the following agreements and contracts as presented. Senior assistance, a one-year agreement for transportation to Phoenix Academy. Warren County ESC, one-year agreement for student to attend WCESC Phoenix Academy at $18,860. Warren County ESC, one-to-one nursing service for student, $27,787.50. Sinclair Community College, 2024-25 College Credit Plus. Do any of you do College Credit Plus? Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Julia? Okay, great.
I actually wanted to say something about the College Credit Plus. It's a very great opportunity for high school students. I'm actually working to get my associate's degree in elementary education by the time that I graduate in high school. So it's definitely a very good opportunity.
Yes, that's awesome. Great.
And actually, she'll get her associate's degree before she graduates from high school, because I think your ceremony is usually late April. I attended last year. And then you get your high school diploma, so that's pretty exciting and very impressive.
You don't know how much I wish that was happening when my kids were in school. It would have saved me a lot of money. Yeah, so, anyway,
And
That
I
was-
have a question.
yeah.
Could we get a little bit of explanation about what the Phoenix Academy is?
Sure, it's one of the Warren County learning centers, and so students with special needs that the case conference committee decides that they need placement due to their disability, that's where they're placed. So we don't offer those services within our district or have the staff to support those students.
Is the case conference committee an inter-district committee?
It's made up of the parent, staff, an administrator, school psych, and any support services that the student may need in terms of speech, PT, OT, physical therapy, occupational therapy, and they make a decision based on the student's current level of performance where the best, least restrictive environment is.
Is the state helpful to offset that increased funding?
We do get some catastrophic costs, but Justin can explain that better than I can.
I'm sure.
Yeah, so the catastrophic costs, I work with Katie on that, and there's kind of a dollar amount that's set by the state, and once we have students that reach that, whether it be through one of these contracts or other services that they need, that information gets submitted to them, and then there's a formula that the state uses. I think it changes year to year, and I'm not sure what it is right now, but they make a determination and they kind of reimburse for some of those costs. It's not, it's not perfect. It's not like a one-to-one reimbursement, but every little bit helps. So we definitely make sure that we stay on top of that so we can get however much funds they're going to give us back. We try to get everything we can.
Sure, I understand. Is it typically the majority? Is there typically a significant portion of that burden that's left for us to come?
I don't know. I'll have to talk to Katie.
I'm sure. I understand it's complex. I'm just curious.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the majority because I don't know that the majority of students hit that mark. I think they raise kind of the minimum for what they would allow to be submitted for catastrophic costs. So I'll check with her and try to figure out, how much, what percentage of students maybe.
It never covers the full amount.
Right.
And then the other thing too is when you look for placements for students, you have to be able to find places that have availability for students as well too, and different places have different rates in order to do that. But Warren County is always, we tend to use Warren County a little bit more because of their pricing is
Better than
more
the guy
competitive,
did.
more competitive, so.
Okay, so there's only one item in that section, so do I have a motion?
I make a motion that we approve the following agreements and contracts as presented based on what Ann shared.
A second?
Second.
Okay, so first by Mrs. Scudder, a second by Mr. Amsler. And then roll call, please.
Mrs. Neese,
Yes.
Mr. Amsler,
Yes.
Mr. Daffler,
Yes.
Mrs. Getter,
Yes.
Mr. Mowry.
Yes.
Okay, next we'll go to our financial agenda items. It is recommended by the Treasurer CFO that the appropriations and certificate of estimated resources be amended as listed in the attached reports.
So this is every month, I bring you this to you guys, it's just the updated appropriations on what the budget is. Kind of a reminder of our certificate of estimated resources on the revenues that we're going to be receiving. And then the 412 certificate on there, it's kind of just a goofy additional, hey, we have the funds to pay for what we budgeted for currently. So that's all it is, just compliance.
Next we have approval of purchase orders. The Treasurer CFO recommends the Board of Education approve the following purchases as presented. Forward Edge Incorporated, $69,666.10. Then and Now, MVCDC, $108,000, $108,375.
So with these, the then and nows, if there's an invoice that comes in that is dated before the purchase order was put into place, we have to just get board approval, which is another compliance thing. And with the MVCDC funds there, that $108,000, that's coming from the Early Childhood Education Grant. So that's, it's covered through the grant. Forward Edge, that is infrastructure update for tech, and I know that we work with Forward Edge on pretty much all of our tech stuff. And just maybe for any new members or anybody who's wondering about these, when I bring these, board policy states that anything over $25,000 needs to be brought to approve, but I think it's worth mentioning that it's within budget. So the Forward Edge, it's already been budgeted. This is just them saying, hey, we're going to spend it on this, and since it's over $25,000, I'll bring it to you all and I'll explain it in and out. So that's.
All right. Next we have the recommended action that the Board of Education approve the fiscal year 24-018 and 200 budget and purposes statement as presented.
So again, this is something that started new, I think maybe when John was here, but the auditors required that for these student organizations that their budget purpose statements are certified by the board. So they fill out a budget purpose statement stating, here's what we think we're going to receive, whether it be through like dues or some sort of fundraiser or something, and here's what we intend to spend it on. So this is just for both of those. Those were groups that you guys had approved not too long ago, and so they didn't get put in with all the other funds.
All right. It is recommended that the Board of Education, any questions? Sorry.
I have one, just looking at the technology quote, I reviewed the bid, and I mean, it's a big number. Are all these, and all this infrastructure right now is currently functioning without flaw, right?
Currently, yes, it is functioning. The buildings that we have that are on there now, to be updated, they're on a cycle. And so the technology works within their own departments. And then also with Forward Edge to determine the lifespan left
of that infrastructure. And so sometimes when you look at the software upgrades, just as if your own computer at some point, you can only upgrade so much to it. You have to be able to upgrade and keep up with the systems in terms of that. And so that number, remember this is coming out of a PI, a Permanent Improvement Fund, not a general fund account. Explain the difference in that to me, being a newbie, please. Sure. So for your permanent improvement funds, it's a continuous sum we have when you use permanent improvement money for basically items that would have 5 or more year lifespan for it. So your switches, your electronics, your servers, all those would have an expansion of 5 or more years, so you can use that permanent improvement fund money for that. And so then permanent improvement fund money is also for like roofs, buses, boilers, chillers, things like that. So that permanent improvement money, like you're saying, it protects the general fund money from day-to-day operations to be able to include the infrastructure updates. And it would be a significant risk to wait until it fails to replace it. When you start waiting to do that, then you get behind the 8 ball on that. It's kind of like when we talked about buses. Yeah, right. You get behind that, and then it's very hard to get caught up. Snowballs. It snowballs, yeah. Okay. You got it. Thank you. You're good.
Okay. All right. It is recommended that the Board of Education approve financial items A and B. Do I have a motion?
I'll motion the Board of Education approves financial items A and B.
Okay. And a second?
Second.
All right. So first by Mr. Mallory and a second by Mr. Daffler.
Is it A and B or A, B, and C?
Uh-oh.
Through C.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry. I got this. Wait. Oh, A and C. Sorry
Well,
about that. Thank you.
I'll
Mr.
amend my motion to include C as well.
Okay, thank you. All right. Next, we move on to acceptance of donation. Roll call. Thank you.
Mr. Amsler,
Yes.
Mr. Daffler,
Yes.
Mrs. Getter,
Yes.
Mr. Mallory,
Yes.
Mrs. Neese.
Yes. All right, next we move on to acceptance of donations. It is recommended that the Board of Education accept the following list of donations. All monies will be used through each school's 018 account unless indicated otherwise. $4,000 from the Miamisburg Band Boosters Association for Miamisburg WGI WIN staff stipends. $19,673.42 from the Viking Boosters Association for a lacrosse wall to be built at the high school athletic sports complex. Cool. $10,000 from the Viking Booster Association for an MHS track and field system upgrade. The following donation was made to Miamisburg City Schools for the Viking Bahalia project. $250 from Donald Shade, the final payment towards a pledge of $1,000. The following donations were made to Miamisburg City Schools in memory of Jennifer Templin. $50 from Joseph Templin, $100 from Jeffrey and Carol Ayler, $50 from Vernon and Leslie Brown, $50 from Harley and Martha Burkhardt, $100 from Mary and James O'Connor. Do I have a motion?
I move with the acceptance of donations.
Second.
Okay, so first by Mr. Daffler and a second by Mr. Amsler. Any comments or questions?
Just out of curiosity, does anybody know what a lacrosse wall is?
Yeah, I was going to talk about that too, yeah. So the Viking Boosters Association, they had a very generous donation to their Viking Boosters from lacrosse to build it's a lacrosse practice wall. It'll be out by the where the flagpole is, out on the sports complex out there. It will save our gym walls from chunks of beatings, but it's a great opportunity for them to go out there and to really practice their their moves and their speeds and all that on there, so. And then the other one, the $10,000 from the Viking boosters, so 5,000 came from the track boosters, 5,000 came from the Viking Boosters Association, and then I'm working with them to get 5 from the Athletics PI Fund, and it's the sound system. And the word sound system was missing in that, so.
I was wondering what system.
I read that, I'm like, what's that? It's a sound system. So if you've been out at the track, you know, it's like the original one out there, and it's wah wah, you really can't understand, so. So we're very pleased, and a lot of times we try to partner with our various, whether it's PTOs, PTAs, boosters, to kind of use some of the PI money that we just kind of talked about for those improvements, capital improvement plans. So we're very thankful for the boosters to help us out with that. So.
And we're very thankful for all of these donations. All right. Roll call?
Mr. Daffler?
Yes.
Mrs. Getter?
Yes.
Mr. Mowry?
Yes.
Mrs. Dees?
Yes.
Mr. Amesler?
Yes.
Okay. Next, we move on to reports, and first we have our MVCTC news by Molly Williams.
Hi. So there is a face and a name. So I am sorry, I just left the meetings on kind of commitments before I was put in place here. But I have thoroughly enjoyed going to MVCTC. I was there in December for the Christmas party and for the meetings, and I was also there in January and sent reports in. So in the February meeting, there was a lot of exciting things going on, and every time I go, I'm just so impressed with how well run their board meetings are, how efficient they are, and the questioning is it's just great how specific the questions are. I'm learning a lot. So if you ever need more information or less, let me know. I'm new at this. So to start the meeting, we were introduced to 2 of the current students at MTCDC. I cannot say that right. MVCTC, and they are the state representatives that were picked of all the candidates in the state to go to the legislation, and they go to Columbus every other month and then have Zoom meetings. They had to do a campaign. They had to get votes from the other representatives and from the students and everything. So it's a pretty big deal that we have 2 members. And so they talked about what they did. Mia is a treasurer, and the other young man, I forget what his position was, but they said the opportunities to network with other people throughout the state and meet different representatives and people in different job capacities was amazing. So it's just cool to me to see all these students getting these opportunities. And it's just very impressive. Roll call minutes and the financial report were addressed. The treasurer, Mr. McKee, received a clean audit for 2023, and out of a $57+ million budget, he was off by 3 cents. And he went back because he was pissed and found it. So that's how dedicated this man is. And then somebody put 3 pennies on his seat before he got there. So it was just, I just have a great sense of camaraderie, and you can see that when you're in the room with them. There was 1 retirement and several new hires, including a part-time substitute teacher, an instructor to replace the one that retired, and a bus driver, which I guess that's like finding gold. So they were pretty excited about that one. Travel plans were approved, and once again, the opportunities these kids are having is amazing. They're having 2 staff and 7 students going to the NASA Hutch Johnson Space Center project in Texas, and they get to go and collaborate with all the other people that are there. Tia, and I'm going to butcher her last name, and I apologize. It's Louisa. Okay, that I was close. She is from Miamisburg, and she is going to CASE AFNR. Do you know what that means? AFNR. It's the institute in Kentucky, and she actually helped raise the money to go. So she was granted like $1,600, but she helped raise her own money so that she could attend that. And then 3 staff members are taking up.
I can't remember all of them, but it's an agricultural and farming program.
Okay. It didn't spell it out in the minutes, but I was impressed that she helped fund her own money and get
Education's all these great acronyms, like, you know.
Yeah, I know, I'm like, should I look this up? And I'm gonna get like 17 different options.
Okay. A lot of times we're in meetings, we're like, what does that mean?
Also, 3 staff members are taking up to 32 students, which is impressive. They're only taking 3, to attend the HOSA International Leadership Conference in Texas as well. So they're trying to give their students as much opportunities to go to places and learn other things as much as possible. And some of these numbers were a little staggering. I mean, it was $45,000 to go to Texas with these 32 students, and I was like, where does that money come from? And they're like, well, it's a line item, it's already in our budget, and if it does go over that, then we have to vote. So that made me feel good that they are staying within their budgets, because I've never heard of a school using that much funds, but they have it all spelled out and ready to go. So it's pretty cool. A fair school funding plan membership was approved, and I think this is a way for them to make sure that they're doing all the right things and planning for the future. So they did approve joining that, as well as a student wellness and success fund plan that was also approved. The great news for MVCTC is that applications are up. So as of February 9th, they had 1,654 applications for 2026, and that was up from 1,322 from last year. So they are on a really good track.
It's really good.
Yeah. And they also have new tech programs that they're introducing in 24-25. One of them is in Jefferson Township Agriculture. Milton Union is getting an information tech and computer science. Valley View is getting a new business program. And then the MVCTC is also creating a new career connections in the cosmetology section. But for me, the excitement was the middle school program Lead the Way, and it's PLTW, another one of these great acronyms, and career exploration with our 8th graders. So they're very excited about this program, and I think we're the test bunny, and then they're going to kick it out to everybody else. So that was like yay for us, you know. Something I don't know if you guys will be interested, but Saturday, March the 16th, they're hosting the Ohio Academy of Science District 10 Science Fair. So they do need judges. You do not have to have a science background, but it's basically a day of listening to what the students have done and judging them and asking them questions and just helping to rate them so that they can move on. I do have that website. If you would be interested, I can send this around and you can write it down. But it is Saturday, March the 16th. So that's something that they're looking for people to help with. The next one is the National Tech Honor Society induction. So National Tech Day was yesterday. They had 150 students who were eligible, and their requirements are pretty stringent. So it's pretty neat that they had 150 people that were eligible to be tapped, and they did not announce today. I was looking kind of for an email, but they didn't say how many people they did indeed tap. But they are going to have their ceremony on Sunday, March the 24th. I do have that information with me, and I do plan on attending. So if anybody wants to go and go with me or whatever to represent Miamisburg, you know, they would, I'm sure, be welcome. Several Miamisburg students have qualified for state competitions after qualifying at regionals. We have Lincoln Bentley, who received a first place. Chloe Doss had a second place. Seth Fulgate, second place. Ethan Goins, third place. Elijah Rose, second place. This one I'm going to butcher.
Lena C.
There you go. Second place. And Zion Wester also received first place. So all of those people will be advancing on. And then in the next report I give you, I'll probably tell you how they did and if they're advancing even further. So it's pretty cool that they're doing so well. It's a very good representation of our school and what they're doing there. The last item on the list is something they were all extremely excited about. They have made it through 5 years of construction. So that's a huge thing. And I have with me save the dates that I can pass around, just because it's going to be a great day. They have planned all sorts of activities. You can go and tour. They're going to have a ribbon cutting and just a bunch of things. So I thought it would be a great opportunity if you wanted to go. but you can send those around. I'm sure that you're on the list to get an official thing, but May fills up quick. So I just thought I would do that. In the next couple of weeks, they're shifting the last couple classrooms from the old to the new, and then tearing down the old parts of what was left of the last building. So once that is complete, they will have the ribbon cuttings in May, and that's exactly 5 years to the day of when they started. It's like, wow. And they also came in under budget, which is impressive considering COVID and the dollars. They pre-bought all their materials. They're like, if we can get them, let's go ahead and pay for them. And that saved them probably millions of dollars, because everything since COVID hit, like doubled and tripled in lumber and supplies. So they were able to keep within budget and come in under budget, which is very impressive. Like I said, there's going to be a building dedication and a ribbon cutting, and it is a great opportunity to just go up and meet everything. It won't be completely done, just you're going to wait to do the dirt work and everything once the kids are off the surfaces and out of the buildings and out of the way. So there'll be some parking lots done and things like that, but the buildings themselves where the students are officially open, and they said the kids were like high-fiving each other, like, we get to go in our space and do our stuff. So I think the students are just as excited as the staff there. So that is my report in a nutshell. I didn't want to overwhelm, but it was a pretty quick one this month and everything. They have all the ducks in a row, nicely. So does anybody have any questions?
Just as a comment, I was up there last week, the facility improvements are just outstanding.
It is
I drove
amazing.
by and I was like, I mean, really neat.
If you
I would like to
you'd
go up
"Can I
and
go-
see it.
Can I go here? Can I
Yeah,
go there?"
yeah, it looks really neat.
Yeah, I want to stay. So,
You just keep walking and walking and walking. And
How does that facility get funded?
through everything. There are multiple ways they get funded. They get funded from the county, they get funded from the state. There's tech school funds that they are specific for them. I'm sure get you a list if you would like it of different funding and where it comes
I
from.
was just curious, because it's an impressive facility and it takes money to drive an impressive facility, so I figured it had to be a.
It is a lot of different buckets that they pull together, and it's a very, from what I have understood and just in the 3 meetings I've been there, they have 3 CPAs on their board, and even they get a little glazed eyes after a while, because they're like, well, this came from here and this, So they're very good at finding those funds and partnering with other people so that they can use the resources they have.
They took very good care of their students. I know my niece is
Yes.
graduating this year. She's, our family, very happy.
Oh, yeah, it's amazing, so. Does it,
Thank
Did
you,
somebody want
Mrs.
this?
Williams.
do you want these records? Would it be easier for the minutes?
Yeah, if you want to just pass them to Ann and Brenda puts those in the minutes.
Yes, there you go. Instead of writing all that down, because I know I talked fast, so. But if you don't,
Tell her she's going to have to listen to it and type it verbatim.
I want to, she's my friend, I want to give her, she tells me where to go.
Oh, great report, Molly.
Thank you.
Next we go to the legislative liaison, Mr. Mallory.
Thank you. I'll be relatively brief, just kind of touching base on where I started last month. House Bill 68, this Ohio Senate successfully overrode Governor DeWine's veto on 12424. That will become a law in Ohio on the 24th of April. The link to that I sent that will be posted with the meeting minutes. House Bill 183 had a 5th hearing. It was scheduled for the 7th of February. It was canceled, and it's anticipated to be voted on in the Higher Education Committee in April. This piece of legislation caught my eye. Last month, Carl Keith came and presented to us everybody's property values going up, and there's a piece of legislation called House Bill 344 that's, it's kind of being inspired by this. I know he said that on average, property values went up 30%, and I looked at mine went up 49. So, when you start to look at those numbers, what those mean to people is several $100s a month more on their house payment. And so it's gotten people's attention across the state, including at the legislature, And House Bill 344 and a couple other measures are kind of aimed at curtailing that a little bit and putting some caps on that. I did want to ask everybody, because when you start to look at legislative reports like the one Dr. Blessing sent, they're vast and they're full of information. And it could be a full-time job focusing on each and every one of those things and tracking their progress. Was there any particular piece of legislation, anybody, my fellow board members, or any of you guys would like for me to track on the board's behalf for next month? I'd love it if you said no. But I thought I'd do my due diligence and ask, because there's a lot there, and I'm willing to put the effort in, but you know, if there's anything that ever comes up that you want me to include in my monthly report, please feel free to send me an email, and I'll be happy to look into it and do the best I can. So that's all I got.
Thank you. Next we have for Student Achievement Liaison, Mr. Amsler.
Okay, continuing on with our Students of the Month, represented is Bauer Elementary School, Deaklin Supp, Bear Elementary School, Graceland Brown, Jane Chance Elementary School, Lincoln Kuntz, Mark Twain Elementary School, Aura Painter, Meadowview Elementary School, Avery Wysocki, Mound Elementary School, Caroline Myers, Miamisburg Middle School, Braden Kick, and Miamisburg High School, Josh Neese. So congratulations to our Students of the Month. Very high achievements. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And then our Montgomery County Drug-Free Coalition Liaison, Mrs. Getter.
We didn't have a meeting in February, but I'll be reporting at the next meeting.
Okay, thank you. And then we're going to have Mr. Daffler read the district news and information.
The latest Making a Difference honorees are Meadowview Elementary School paraprofessional Austin Marker. Austin was nominated by school nurse Kelly Waugh for going above and beyond with students he works with at Meadowview. Kelly said Austin is able to set boundaries and expectations that his students understand and respect. He can actively engage in students to learn within the classroom and even away from the classroom. That calmness he has is an asset that enables this. Also honored was Mark Twain's teacher, Shannon Littner. Shannon was nominated by Lisa Jones, Tracy Harris, and Jen Noble, who said Shannon goes above and beyond her students on a daily basis to make sure they get the most out of their day with her in the classroom. She is always willing to step up and take on new things for the greater good of her students. As well as her Mark Twain family, she exhibits wonderful and admirable qualities, not only as a teacher, but as a friend, co-worker, and mother as well. Miamisburg High School senior girls basketball guard Allie Hoss led the Vikings with 15 points against Fairmont and scored her 1,000th career point with under 10 seconds left in the game. Congratulations to Allie. Congratulations to Miamisburg High School senior wrestlers Fletcher Rose and Lincoln Cruel, who earned their 100th varsity wins and victories against Fairmont and Troy. Congrats, Fletcher and Lincoln. 35th grade Bauer Elementary students in Miss Middleton's classes were selected for the Creative Communications Anthology, a celebration of poets. This was not a contest where every entry was invited to be published. Only the best poems were selected. Less than 50% of the poems submitted are published. Bauer Elementary stood out and will be recognized in the anthology as receiving a Writing Achievement Award. This honor is only given to the top 10% of schools who entered in the contest. The schools are chosen based on the number and quality of entries accepted. That's impressive.
Signing Day saw 8 Miamisburg High School athletes commit to further their academics and athletic careers at the next level. Noah Engel, Baldwin Wallace University for cross country and track and field. Greg Clack, Defiance College for football. Allie Haas, Southeastern University, basketball and softball. Andrew Jackson Dunaway, U.S. Naval Academy. Abel Ingo, Kent State for wrestling. Carmelo Phillips, Central State University, football. Baylor Stickle, University of Findlay, football. Jaylee Thomas, University of Toledo, softball. MHS alum and Ashland University senior Jackson Myers has been named a 2023 Honorable Mention All-American by Don Henson Football Committee, a linebacker who also is second team D2 CCA All-Region and first team All-Great Midwest, led Ashland's defense with 71 total tackles, 44 solo stops, 15.5 tackles for a loss, and added 6.5 sacks, an interception for a touchdown, and a fumble recovery. Congratulations. That is the district news. Congratulations to all of them.
Thanks, Mr. Daffler. I appreciate that. All right. Next, we're going to go around the table for our Board of Education and staff comments. Do we want to start with our student reps and go around this way? Do you want to start? Let's start with you. Madison, do you want to start? Okay.
So I just wanted to speak back. I know we talked about the lacrosse ball earlier. I just want to thank the Viking Booster Association. I know my mom will also be thanking them for when I broke a window playing on our wall. So I think that will definitely help our team.
Thank you. Andrew?
I just wanted to promote my further support for the CCP, CCP administration or, program because, I'm in a CCP class right now. And it's very beneficial that I'm getting college credit and high school credit at the same time. So I just think it's a really great system.
Thank you. Mr. Hellman?
I don't have a lot to say. We are kind of wrapping up our winter sports here. We'll be coming up here soon, and then spring is already springing into action. So I know, bad puns. One of those weeks. So I do want to recognize retiree Carol Alt, 25 years of service. So that's always a nice milestone within that. So other than that, that's all I have.
Mrs. Williams, did you want to say anything? Okay. Mr. Mallory?
Yeah, just since the last board meeting, I've spent quite a bit of time with Mr. Homan and Ed, starting to go through our facilities. I thought it would be very worthwhile, and it has been. I very much enjoyed it. I appreciate you taking the time. They've been coming in after hours and taking me through the facilities and spending a lot of time. So far, I went through Medlar View, Mound, Bear, Mark Twain, Student Services, the Maintenance Garage, and the Transportation Hub. And, a couple of things stuck out to me. As a builder by trade, there are certain things that you can kind of see in a professionally ran operation, and that's cleanliness. And I have to tell you that one of the things that it really was impressive to me is how clean our kitchens were. Our nutrition services, they are doing a great job taking care of our food facilities. When I went through Dad's maintenance garage and the nutrition services there wasn't a thing out of place. It was very neat, very professionally done, and there's a lot of things that go unsaid that you can tell when you're surrounded by professionals that really care about what they're doing on a daily basis and just how they conduct themselves and everything, keeping everything neat and orderly and professionally ran. And I just thought it was important to acknowledge those people because they're kind of often the unsung heroes who, salt our sidewalks and plow our parking lots and fix our roof leaks and, feed our kids when they're hungry and grumpy. So anyway, they're doing a dynamite job, and I look forward to being able to tour the rest of the facilities in the next couple of weeks.
I'll share that with our classified folks as well, so.
Yeah, please do.
I will. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sir?
I wanted to welcome Miss Molly. Good to have you here. You're right, Jason's right, you're right. We don't know the treasure that we really have in our backyard, and that's Miami Valley Career Technology Center. And the opportunity that our students are given. You talk about over 1,600 applicants, and I know it serves many different schools. And we have a number, I think Joe was here, he kept saying we were in the top three every year. So that's a great honor. So I'm glad to piggyback on Andrew and what he was talking about, College Credit Plus. I've been here now 10 years, and I can tell you, College Credit Plus, there was maybe 40 students in that program, and now when I talk to Stacy, we're well over 200. I'm glad you enjoy it. I'm glad you're taking advantage of it. I'm glad you're getting your associates. It is very worthwhile. So I'm glad you do it. So it's going to pay off. So I want to also, I know we had the Hall of Fame that Anna and I attended. I want to say congratulations to those members that went into our recent Hall of Fame. That's quite an honor to be recognized, to be honored, and to be accepted. So congratulations to all of them. And finally, I've had many conversations with her. I know Mr. Homan as well. But when you said that she was sincere, she was compassionate, Carol was a Miamisburg true and true. She cared about her fellow coworkers. She cared about her job. She cared about getting things right, and she fought for a lot of other employees within the district. She's going to be a huge loss, but I wish her nothing but the best. She's earned it, she's deserved it, and I always say when you can go out on your own terms and smile, you've had a heck of a career. So congratulations to Miss Holt. So with that, I'll pass it on to you.
Just the same about congratulating Mrs. Alt on her retirement. It's time to stop and smell the roses. But she has done a great job for Miamisburg schools. And I'll miss seeing her at the high school. I'm there every week with my mentee and at just the different events where she, serves as a custodian. I'll miss seeing her. And I just wanted to thank the administration for getting all of the grade banding assignments in place. I know that was a difficult task. And I think the staff is starting to get excited, and we're rolling right along. So it's all good. And I wanted to congratulate Mrs. Middleton's class. That was very impressive. That's Mrs. Getter's daughter, the school board member's daughter. One other thing I wanted to mention, and I mentioned this another year, that I just think it's so cool that our basketball team provides dinner for the pep band every year. And to me, that's just, really shows kindness, and it was Kindness Week, and just that whole appreciation of, being better together. And I just like to recognize those kind of acts because I think it meant a lot. I'm sure it means a lot to the pep band because, they're cheering that team on, and it's really cool.
I will say ditto to all the nice things said about Carol. She's great, hardworking. She'll she deserves all the time off. Hopefully, she relaxes. I want to say congratulations to the 8 signing students. That's awesome. I think all student athletes and all students that participate in the extracurricular activities is a great thing. Going above and beyond just the classroom really shows good ambition and future leaders. That's all good stuff. And then also thank you to all the parents, the boosters, all the Viking money that's gathered up, and all the people that are volunteering in the concession stands and doing everything to make us run when we're running these athletic events. And we could use more. And these are unsung heroes that are always out there doing stuff for no money, just helping our student athletes. So thanks to all that.
I'd like to just piggyback on what everybody said. Congratulations to Carol on her retirement. What an amazing person, and she really will, she'll be missed. She will be missed. And then I'd like to congratulate Keegan. He's already a leader at such a very young age, and I look forward to watching him as he grows and leads as a Miamisburg student. I can't wait to see what is in store for him. And then, of course, I want to congratulate those students in Mrs. Middleton's class. Yes, Mrs. Middleton is my daughter, and she tries to present opportunities to the students that they might not normally think of or have the opportunity. So to have that many students whose poems were accepted for publication, I think that's quite an accomplishment for them. And then piggybacking on what Corey said about the volunteers, there are so many people who give time and effort, and they aren't paid. They aren't even thanked probably properly for the time that they put in, not just the concession stand, but we have people who volunteer to coach guard. They work tirelessly for the band. They're on the boosters. I mean, that's what makes our school system what it is, not just those that are hired, but also the volunteers. Because we're such a great school system, they want to be part of that as a volunteer. So thank you to them.
I just want to say congratulations to Carol. And a couple weeks ago marked a year with Miamisburg. And I'd like to note that I also had a clean audit with 0 pennies missing. So tell Mr. McKee that when you see him. But yeah, I mean, that's all a testament to the staff. And that's been the best part about being here in Miamisburg has been the people that I get to work with. And so I just feel very blessed that there's good people around me to help guide me. And, you know, you got to come in here every day. So it makes it better. You don't hate everybody you work with. You know, right.
Well, I wanted to echo about Carol. She's one of the first people I met when I came to Miamisburg, and we've worked closely for 4 years, and she was very instrumental in our very successful IBB bargaining as part of the team, and we look forward to continuing that in the future, and I know she's offered to help in any way she can moving forward, but we do want to make sure she enjoys her retirement. So congratulations again. Also, thank you to Maddie for setting up our camera this evening, and as part of the Belvo, our students are recording our news the news class. Mr. Freeze will take our recording this evening and do the magic that you all do, and it'll be available for viewing like it was prior to our location change. So thank you for doing that tonight. She's kind of wearing 2 hats this evening, so appreciate that. Also, congratulations. Our middle school cheerleaders performed our last home basketball game Friday night, and they had done well in their competition and performed their show for us. It was fantastic. Also, while they were performing for us, our high school, I believe it's the the game day and the competition team were in Orlando, and they all scored and performed wonderfully. So congratulations to them. And then we have some career signings coming up next week, so we'll have a report about those students and those careers that they chose. So that's exciting. That I think is happening Tuesday. We do not have school Monday for the President's Day holiday, so I want to remind all the students to not set your alarms on Monday. Our wellness clinic kicked off as part of our last negotiated agreements with our classified and our certified staff. So our partnership with Kettering has been going on for about 15 days, and lots of our staff members, especially during flu season, and their families have benefited from that wonderful service. So we're going to be getting monthly updates that we'll share about what kind of services our staff are taking advantage of and those benefits that are wonderful. So we're excited to learn more about that partnership. And then just to kind of piggyback off what Molly said, we are expanding our MVCTC satellite programs. As you know, we have the like coding and technology classes that at the high school, and they've had those for 2 years. And this year, Tia has brought, our ag teacher has started the ag and the science program, ag science and food science and those career pathways or satellite program. And so now we'll have the 8th grade career class next year, and that teacher is funded through the CTC. So we don't take that on as a a financial obligation, and they're also going to be funding a 7th grade STEM teacher. So again, they will be part of our staff, but not part of our budget and our responsibility. And then we may even potentially transfer our 8th grade STEM to their staff, depending on staffing and qualifications. So we may actually save money next year on staffing with our STEM program through the CTC. And we have volunteered, if they want to pilot down to the elementary, to get some STEM teachers to join our STEM teachers that we have currently, which they have to share right now. So it's exciting, and it's just a wonderful, they're wonderful to work with, and they're always willing to listen to our ideas and provide us with some wonderful staff, and then the support staff that comes with those, because those staff members aren't evaluated by our administrators, so that also takes some burden off of them as well, and takes them a little bit off their plate. So it's just wonderful. Yeah. And your report was perfect. You said some of the same things that Joe would say. So yeah, we'll work on your greeting. Yes. So
An amazing
yeah.
Keep going.
You picked up right. I mean, really, like a lot of the things you shared are the things that he always shared. So that's great. It's great to have you. So thank you.
I want to thank you guys for the CCP. I also take CCP courses. I've been taking them since last year, and that's an opportunity I really appreciate. I know it's going to save my parents a lot of money in the long run. And then also I want to thank the Viking boosters for the wall ball. Adding on to what Maddie said, some of the siding on my house is chipped, so my dad will be grateful for that. So I just want to thank you all for what you guys do for us, the students in Miamisburg. We really appreciate it.
I just want to thank the Viking Boosters Association for their donation to the track and field sound system update. I do track and field, and I can definitely tell everyone here that it definitely needed an update. So we're all really, really grateful and really thankful that we are able to get that update and get the help to be able to afford it. And we just want to thank you guys for everything that you do for us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. All right, we don't have any public comments tonight, so we'll move on to adjourn. Do I have a motion?
I'll motion to adjourn.
Second?
Okay, first by Mr. Mallory and the second by Mr. Dappler, and the adjourn time is 7:21. And then roll call, please.
Mrs. Getter,
Yes.
Mr. Mallory,
Yes.
Mrs. Neese,
Yes.
Mr. Ansler. Yes. And Mr. Daffler.
Yes.
Thanks, everyone.